What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. Today we are talking putting, but not in your traditional sense. That's right. Today we're talking all about the turbo action. Lightning McQueen, watch out. Taylor, who do you want to say hi to?
Megan.
Megan, how are you doing today? Are you having a good one? All right, so we've got with us a familiar face if you watched VLogmas last year. This time we're way less punishing in terms of, we did, what was it, Siri chose our bag?
It was Siri chose our
bag. Today we got Taylor back on the channel. Glad to have you here, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Awesome.
This is a type of putting that I think lots of people feel like is, oh, I can just do this. Like you end up in a situation with turbo putting where you're just going to throw the shot and then you go to throw that turbo putt and it just goes horribly. We want to take just a few minutes today to bring Taylor in. Taylor, you turbo putt. Not always.
Not always, but I will use it. I can give you examples and we'll get into that.
What circumstances are you pulling the turbo putt out in?
It really depends. If I got a shot where I'm pinned behind a tree, or I'm pinned by, if I got a bush in front of me, like a lot of times you have shrubs and bushes, like you throw short of the pin, and you got something that's really blocking, anything that's blocking your natural putting shot.
Yeah.
Anything that get in that way, with a turbo you can get up, you can get above things, high elbow, and now you're creating a new angle, a new lane. Another tool in the tool belt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more, especially putting, as someone who has I'm predominantly a push putter.
Yeah.
My worst nightmare was because putting is where I get the most strokes on the field. I'm 20, 25 feet away from the basket and I've got a low ceiling. My putt just doesn't work. So I had to learn a spin putt just for those circumstances. And this is another great scenario, especially if you're playing a course, let's say, especially Florida players.
Yeah.
I think Florida, there's like a lot of those low bushes and things. Not a lot of high stuff blocking you, but a lot of low stuff, especially on the green. This could be really helpful.
And go ahead and shout out Johnny McRae, one of the greatest Florida players of all time, and one of the best turbo putters of all time I've ever seen.
Yeah, which I didn't even connect the dots there.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense. All right, talk us through it.
All right, so if I'm turbo putting, like I said, once again, like say, even the camera set. So if the camera is right here and I don't have my normal putt, I can't make this straight line, I can't make the push hyzer putt, then I can go to the turbo, which is honestly, anybody you can go stacked, you can go straddle. It's just a preference. But I can get right here and get into this place. Now I've created a new angle and lane. I'm not going from here, I'm going from here to here. So now I have a new line to the basket. I always start with mine. Some people do different. Some people start with theirs outside. And the specifics of it is thumbs on the center of the plate.
Okay.
Thumb to the center of the plate. Some you have a ring, some have a dot, some have nothing, whatever. But you have thumbs center of the plate. And then all four of my fingers are stacked on the outside. So I have by contact, I got 5 points of contact on the disc. And now think of it as a baseball throw. You're really just going from here. I'm pushing forward and following through, almost like you're throwing a curveball. Some people are like 12 to 6. I'm more like 1 to 7. Okay. I'm across like this. Okay. What I'm technically doing, if you think about it, my normal putt rotation of the disc is clockwise. Turbo putt, it's counterclockwise. Okay. So it's actually turning the opposite way of my normal putt, which is kind of cool because now I'm creating a new spin and a new angle where I'm going to make the corrections like, okay, well, I need something to go this way. I need something to go right to left instead of, if I'm going straight at it, then you basically just go here, I'm here, right? Biggest mistake people make about turbo putting, and this is the #1 mistake. It's the same as any other putt.
Absolutely.
It's the same as any other putt is committing to it. Now, the difference is when I mean commitment, I mean long term, are you going to make turbo putts?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the long term game because you're going to throw one that's going to look so horrific. And it's going to look like somebody shot it halfway through the shotgun and it just does this wobble, it just dies to the ground and does something awful. And you go, well, I'm never doing that ever again. If you want to throw some bad ones. You got to throw some bad ones. I still throw some horrific ones. I look at it and go, that didn't do anything what I wanted it to do. And a lot of it is still that having an idea, committing to that shot, committing to the putt.
We want to take a super quick break from the turbo putts to talk about today's video sponsor, DG Putt. DG Putt is a new app in the disc golf putting space. At its core, DG Putt is designed to give you a variety of exercises and putting routines that you can use to spice up your putting practice. For the stats fans out there is a way to track your progress through each of these putting exercises and get your lifetime stats overall. And for the super competitive person who finds it tough to get out in your backyard and practice that putting stroke over and over again, you can also set up putting leagues. These can be done traditionally in a local sense, or you can even do it virtually to find out who truly is the best one at putting the disc into the chains. So if you find yourself stressed the closer and closer you get to the putting green, then worry no more. Head over to dgputt.app to check out this incredible opportunity to help make putting stress a thing of the past.
So the points, the couple points I want to bring up: commitment to the putt and style. So right now I'm probably, what do you think, about 20 feet,
yeah.
18, 20 feet. From here, I'm gonna go more straddle. Since I'm trying to create a right to left movement, kind of like a hyzer.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be a hyzer. Well, I'm trying to create this turn. So to do that, look how the distance in my hand. If I have it sitting here, right? But if I let it go sit higher in my fingers, look at the angle the disc is now on. It is now on that plane.
Yeah,
it's
that
the
makes
same.
sense.
It's the same as holding like this,
Yeah.
and now I'm just holding it higher in my fingers.
Yeah.
And now it's already on that turnover.
Gets a little more movement.
So basically, it's almost like a backhand anti-putt at this point.
Yeah.
So right here, and then I'm trying to turn right to the center.
Yeah.
And that was nice and smooth, and it had that right hyzer turn. But the height of where you put it against your fingers creates the angle you want it on.
Yeah.
If I want it to go more the other way, then I drop it lower, and now it's more on this angle.
Yeah, but still same throwing motion.
Still
it's
same
just
throwing
where
motion,
it sets
just
in the
where,
fingers.
like I said, if you want it higher on the first knuckles, or you want it lower in the second set of knuckles. In closer ranges, if I'm closer right here, I just want to be straight.
Yeah.
I want to be nice and level, comfortable, and I just want to be right to it.
Yeah.
It's A to B. You know, the further you get away, then you might have to do more angles and more push and stuff like that, which way you want to get the turn. You'll see a lot of people who use this putt for long uphill putts because, so if I'm putting up here, now the disc is more on plane with the actual chains in the basket because the basket's at my eye level.
Totally. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
It's another thing. It's like, so if I'm having to putt uphill, well, if I'm putting from here, I'm almost putting dead level with the chains.
Totally.
It's like me putting to this basket right here.
Yeah.
At this level, that basket's higher up now. I'm more on line with it.
Yeah.
It's more of a straight line to the basket. Playing in tournaments and you see someone, you go, okay, they're in a bad position. They got a tough putt. They're not going to make it. And they break out a turbo putt and drill it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a confidence booster.
Oh yeah. They're feeling great. You're
feeling
great. Like, how am I supposed to get strokes on this guy?
Right. Exactly.
It rattles your opponents.
And I mean, it's a rattling thing, but it's a confidence booster for yourself.
I've tried this putt on a lot. I see people go upside down. Do you know why people go upside down?
This is my personal preference of I like to do it the regular way.
Yeah.
Because I think I can throw it further. I think the upside down putt, the upside down turbo putt, is good for people who like to use it very short range.
Yeah.
Because it's a more nose down, it's got less glide, and like I said, you're less likely to miss high.
Yeah.
Because here's the miss. If I miss high on a turbo putt, I skip off the top of the basket. And I've had it happen in a tournament where I went with the turbo putt, and I skipped off the top of the basket and went 25 feet.
Yeah, and you're like, now I got a shaky comebacker.
And now I got a shaky comebacker and all that stuff, yes. People who aren't comfortable with turbo putt, they feel like, I can't grip, I can't really hold it in my hand. If it's windy outside, wind catches it, it's going to fall out of my hand, I'm going to drop it, I'm going to get stroked.
Yeah.
You know, there's all those things. Legitimate concern.
Yeah.
When it's windy sometimes, I'm like, I don't even think about breaking it out, but there is a solution. I've seen some people do it.
Yeah. Super glue. No.
Super glue, yes. Super glue it to your hand. One finger tuck. All right.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
these are deep strats.
Deep cuts. Basically, I use my New York signaling finger. My first knuckle.
Yeah.
My first knuckle goes tucked.
Okay.
So like on my middle finger.
Yeah.
First knuckle goes tucked right there. Right. So now I'm sitting like this. Now I can do this.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I've never heard of that.
So
that
now
is awesome.
the knuckle tuck, where you get to like just below your main knuckle, is right outside.
Yeah.
Now I've got 3 points of contact plus my finger underneath.
Yeah.
And so now when I hold it like this.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's not going anywhere.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to drop it. I can hold it upside down.
Yeah.
I actually have more control over it. And then I'm
Yeah, I mean, and it's a bullet. That is.
It is a bullet. Like I said, for people who struggle, if you got smaller hands or if you got if you don't feel comfortable holding the turbo in the conventional form, like even like trying to hold it right there, you know, almost dropped it.
Yeah.
You know, but if I go like this and just tuck it, I can get a little farther back, get my aim. Final point I wanted to make sure we made was that follow through. Sometimes you have the tendency to just throw it and stop. So if you just go like here and stop, you know, like just doing that, you really want to make sure you get the follow through, because that's where a lot of the momentum, a lot of the speed comes from, and then the spin is the last part. Say you're inside the circle, right? You can't step.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to have a good firm base. I usually straddle.
Yeah.
You know, from inside the circle.
Yeah.
So inside the circle, I'm going to straddle. Boom, right?
Yeah.
But that follows through. Now, and you're farther away, you're outside the circle, then I'll probably go more stacked, because now I have the ability to follow through and step. Even if you feel like you can't get enough force on it inside the circle, then you want to step, make sure you're stacked, and then finish even with your lead
That's
foot.
Good work. Yeah.
You know, because you don't want a flip fault. It's easy probably to do if you don't think about it. So when you're stepping forward, you know, to finish, you stay square.
That's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's those kind of tools in the toolbox. I really do think you'll see someone who they just learn one type of putt. And I think that's where you got to start, right? Learn one type of putt, lean into it. This is a great option, a great thing to have. So that way when you're struggling, you can just be like, hey, I'm ready for all situations, because nothing feels worse than finally throwing a great drive on a hole that you haven't birdied before. And you're way out there and you're like, yes, I did it. I got off the tee like I needed to, and then you just don't have a putt. Like, that is so frustrating, but this is a great opportunity for you to add tools to that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. We'll see you tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas, but for now, we're gonna leave you with the birdie.